of it all, untouchable, a new animal. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Jeremy LaRose. Welcome to another week of LSH Live. We are here with Peanut. We're gonna pick up where we left off with the last video. So in the last one, we talked a lot about getting hip control, getting control of our horse, and we showed you this one where she's really advanced to the left and really struggled to the right. So we're gonna keep working on that, and I'm gonna show you guys at a jog exactly what we're talking about. The basic idea here is that this horse stays between my hands and my feet. So I have those lanes that we're talking about. 2 lanes in my hands, 2 lanes in my legs. And the horse has got to maintain the position right in between those lanes. So if the lanes change and I apply pressure, or I give a voice command to change gears and move your feet, she should move her feet into the lane that I make for her, all right? And that rule stays true no matter where we're at. What changes then are the lanes. So sometimes we're gonna go down and we're gonna be in this shape right here. We're gonna have her in this lane over here with her hip. And sometimes we're gonna have her in this lane with her shoulders, okay? So depending on where I'm at, this is the shape for a right circle, and this is the shape we're gonna be working on. So we talked about this yesterday, it was yesterday, right? So this is our last video. We've gone out there and had this horse in this shape right here. I'm providing a new shape with my hands and my feet. I've got her so she doesn't fall in on this inside spur. So I keep her inside shoulder up with my inside leg right here, keeping her hip over off my outside foot. And you see how much easier it is for her to make this circle. So I come through here. As I make this circle, I'll press a little, pick up my outside hand a little bit, press that outside shoulder across a little bit, and ask her to step into this circle. Now, last time, if you watched the video, this horse is really getting trapped up with her right front leg behind her left leg as she made this circle. Now, we've got to keep her from falling in and doing that. So we got to keep her with this right front leg out in front of her and keep that outside leg moving up and around. So you see that shape that I've got in her body right there? She is matching the circle that I'm on. If I were to jog and provide a new gear for her, she should be able to very easily step up into that. So if I can come here, change my voice, provide a new gear. Hey, there, and now I'm in a new gear, but the same shape. So this is our goal here, is to get our horse to where she maintains a good shape all the time. I want her to stay in this shape that I provide. If I change the shape, she should change her body. All right, so see how we'll do that. As I change the shape, she changes her body. So I'll change the shape again. Now I'm making new lanes. It's her job to stay in between. What I feel is a horse that gets pretty bracy on my inside rein. So I know my inside shoulder is trying to tip over. So I'll just give a little tap on the inside, make that stay up and over. And I've got my outside leg just close by, providing shape. Now in this one, you can hear in my voice how much up and down there is. Right? You can hear me coming up and down, and that's the big thing for me, is I want a horse that really comes up and down well. We don't want a horse that goes forward. So this horse is an exceptional jogger, always has been. She's got a lot of up and down in her jog. She's got a lot of motion in her hind legs coming up and down. So you can see where my outside leg is, see where my inside leg is, providing a shape. If I want to pinch her a little harder, bring my outside hand up a little more, provide a little bit deeper lane right there, and step across. The example that I give all the time is that when I lope a horse, I want to have 3 lanes in a highway, all right? We've got 3 lanes that come around on a curve on a highway. So when I'm loping a horse, I've got 1 lane on the inside with this hip right here. So that should be 1 car in the inside lane, all right? My next lane should have my outside or my inside front and my outside hind. So if you can see that, I'm coming through here. I'll show you that lane as I come around. Stay right there, Macy. So I come around, right, boom, there. You see that 3rd lane where her inside front and her outside hind are on the same lane. And then I have my outside lane right here, okay? So I have a car, a semi-trailer, and a car. That's what we're trying to make. As I go around that circle, always keeping those lanes in mind. So those lanes to me are super important. I want to be able to maintain those. If I want to switch lanes, if I want the outside car to come over, if I want a sharper curve on the highway here, we can come across and step that up and in. See how I'm maintaining the shape. So as I wind this circle down, the shape gets a little harder for her, a little harder for her, a little harder for her. So I'm maintaining that shape around there. So she's got to stay between my hands and my feet. Okay, no matter where my hands and my feet are. If I want to turn loose with my hands and go straight with my hands but keep my hip over, see how I can do that right there. So this is a new shape, well out of my spur, providing a shape, and I've got a straight lane with my shoulders. So see how I'm doing that. Got my hip over, got my shoulders traveling straight. If I want to bring my shoulders into it, here's the kind of control I want to have, where I can keep that hip on the inside and bring this lane over with my hands again and come around. I'll come to you so you can see that position. So now I've got my hands up, got a lane out of my hands. I can set this horse down and keep that lane out of my foot right between my spurs and her body, but now her neck straightens out. So see how I'm making that lane right there. And we can jog crooked. See how I do that? So jogging crooked is a skill you want to be able to have. If I want to push a hip over and maintain a line, I need to be able to do that out of my hands and my feet. So that's a horse that really stays between my hands and my feet well. One of the big advantages of this horse is she's been super trainable the whole way through. Now she's gotten a little bit stuck here going this way, but for the most part has maintained a super trainable mind, and for that we're really thankful. So bringing her down here, keeping her stepping up. So I'm coming along. I'm gonna keep shuffling my hands down. I'm gonna keep asking her to break and drop right here. Remember, I don't want her neck to be this low in the end. But what I do want is I do want to be able to practice with it very far down. So that way I can take all the lift out of her right here, because this is where this horse wants to bounce off, is right there in her neck. And you can see that when I turn loose, you'll see that piece want to come back up. See that right there, how this piece comes back up. It's the first piece that always lifts up in this horse. So what I need is I need a horse that will stay down right there. So what I'm gonna do is cool that neck down. I'm gonna say, all right, we're on our circle here. We're staying between my feet, and I'm taking her neck away from her. This is how we address that head bob issue. By taking her neck away on this circle and saying, hey, you're gonna drop that neck way down, and that's gonna free up her back. What she has to do now is figure out a new way to jog and lift her shoulders and lope and lift her shoulders, because she can't use her ears to do it anymore. So that's how we get that lift out of them, by taking that neck away, really dropping it way down there, asking her to find that. And then when I turn loose, she'll go back up to level, and that's a very showable position right there. I really like where that neck is. I'll circle around so you can see it off the main side. So right in there, and now she's happy because she thinks she's getting away with something, and I'm happy because I have a very showable position right there. And you can see how she wants to kind of fight that. She wants to lift this right here. See how she fights that? I want her to lift this right here, stay up in this piece. I want this piece to be the highest part of her neck on our finished horse. So how do we do that? School that neck down, take it all away from her, make that piece the highest piece. So see me shuffling my hands wide, dropping her neck down, making her stay down in her neck. She wants to not drop right there, so I just keep my hands moving. I've got shape out of my feet, dropping that neck down, both sides of her body. So her left side and her right side, gotta train it up. So I'm coming through here, there, turn loose. Now I have a very showable horse right there. I really like that. She's balancing off this piece right here. She's trying to lift her neck. You see it starting to come up a little bit. That's what we want to school out of there. So I don't want to meet her where she's comfortable. So like right up here is where she's comfortable with that piece up. So I've got to go down a little further than I'd like to. I want to be able to bench press 200, right? If I'm training for a marathon and it's a 5-mile marathon, I'm not going to go out there and practice 5 miles. I want to be able to do 10. If I can do 10 miles, I can go show a 5-mile marathon and be just fine. So I want to drop her down a little further than what I'd like to, get that a little bit extreme, okay? And that's just the training process. That neck, you see how it comes back up on its own? Especially when I go lope off, that neck's gonna want to shoot back up on its own. So I want to just drop that way down and say, hey, you're gonna have to figure out a lope off that doesn't use that neck. Okay, you're gonna have to find a way to lope that doesn't require the use of those ears. And that's gonna be pretty tricky for us. Some of these lope offs are gonna be ugly. If that lope off is messy, we're just gonna break her down and try again. I know I have X amount of lope offs to do in order to make this pretty. So I'll set her in here, I'm gonna lope her off. See her jump a little bit, she's a little nervous through that. There, good. So I like that lope off. I'm gonna set up on my circle here, outside hand making the outside edge of my circle. Just shuffling her down right here. Shuffling her down. Now I have a lot more rhythm and a lot more flow than I did yesterday. This is a much better lope to me. She's easier in the shape. She's not pulling on my hands as bad. She's a little lost right there. You see that? I kind of felt it underneath. She gets a little bit walky behind. She's a little bit funky there. And that's okay, we're just gonna stay. She's getting funky because she's now gotta find a new way to lope. So you see in her body and her legs how she's saying, wait a minute, I gotta change some stuff up here. I can't do what I was doing yesterday because that didn't work. That was really uncomfortable for me. So now you see a different style of lope in this horse where she's like, okay, I'm trying something new. I like that. So you see how I just let her stay, let her practice, let her figure out how to get her legs in there. So I'm just keeping my hands low, keeping them wide, making sure she just stays down in her neck. Just stay down in your neck. We're just gonna sit on a circle. You just keep practicing. You keep getting that time in. You figure it out on your own. I'm not gonna dictate to her where to put her legs. I'm just gonna put her in shapes and positions where she's gonna figure it out on her own. So watch as I turn loose of this horse. We saw how soft and supple this neck was at the jog and how that neck stayed down and she stayed loping right through there. But when I turn loose of her this way, that neck's gonna shoot straight up in the air. She can go back to doing what she's doing. See that right there? That's what we're trying to fix. See how this neck is way up here? She's balancing off this right here. Because of that, we get going fast. Okay, so I wanna have a horse that can stay down in her neck right there, find the lift out of her shoulders, take that neck away from her a little bit. So by taking this neck away right here, she's forced to kind of figure a new way out. See, I just keep my hands moving. I'm not gonna force her to stay down here. I'm just gonna make it uncomfortable to be up. And that's the big idea. Just gonna make it uncomfortable to be up in your neck. You see that rhythm slow back down? Now she's like, oh, I gotta use my back, I gotta use my belly. I keep bow spurs kind of wrapped up into her. My inside leg is there if she gets super heavy on my inside rein, because we know if she's heavy on my inside rein, she's just falling down on her shoulders. My outside leg is there holding my hip in position. We're letting her get her practice in. Get your time in, figure it out. Think about it, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. Good girl. See that turn loose, head comes straight up in the air again, just back into the circle. Say, hey, let's try again. Let's come right here. Let's find a new way. Find a new way, think about it, figure it out, there. Got a lot better rhythm through that lope off, lot better rhythm through my legs. Take her back into it. So she shot her neck straight up, but her legs didn't change, and that's what we're looking for. As a horse is figuring out, how do I lope without using my neck? This is what it looks like. Remember, it's not gonna be pretty. We're not practicing to show pretty right now. We're practicing, get your neck down, take it away from you, don't use your neck to lope around. Turn loose. I like that her rhythm stayed the same. She'd take her head up and out to the outside, so we're gonna set her back in there. We're gonna say, okay, we'll circle here. And I don't care so much where that circle is, as long as she's just on that circle, in between my hands and my feet, figured it out. And now I can turn loose here and practice a rail. See what I got. There, she's staying right where I put her. That's very nice, very nice. Now my neck comes up, back into my circle, back to work. So see, she got a little lost there, got her head up, got distracted. It's okay, just gonna stay here, practice that circle. Inside hand, setting her neck over the inside, matching the arc of my circle with her body. Keep her hip on the inside lane, keep her outside shoulder on the outside lane, keep her midline in the middle. So right there, she fell over with her shoulder, she dipped in. That's my inside leg, got a little far away from her. She didn't really respect that. That's why it's so important to sit square on your horse. Turn loose, ride my line. See how much lower that neck is right there? Oh, we lost it, we sped up. I got it for about 2 strides. What's important about that though, is I got to turn loose for 2 strides. She got to feel a difference for 2 strides where she was like, wait, he doesn't have a hold of me. Turn loose. And she got to practice on her own and be like, oh, there's like a spot where if I get in there, if I get in that shape and I hold that position, he'll turn loose and I'll get to just be left alone, which is really what she wants, right? She wants to be left alone. The key to this is that this circle is much harder than that straight line. So my straight line is the reward for doing good on the circle. So I can turn loose, ride, keep it right between my feet, pick up, circle back up. And a lot of people for a lot of time have used circles to get their horse right. Like they'll lope around and then they'll do a circle. The big piece here that works for us so well is that this circle is much harder than the straight line. So I'm creating a horse that's gonna want to go straight. And I'm taking that neck away so she has to use it well. Much better, much better. Oop, lost it. Come back in, we'll take this trot then. So she got a little flat tire behind right there. quit driving up. We're gonna come back in this circle, set her back up into this, lope off. Much better lope off. Neck came up a little bit, but it is an improvement from where it was. Set her up on a circle, take that neck to the inside, keep those shoulders stepping to the outside of my circle. I don't want those shoulders to follow my neck around right here. The hardest part about this is riding some ugly, all right? That this is not gonna be comfortable, it's not gonna be pretty for a while. Remember, I'm not trying to make her pretty-legged on the circle. I'm not trying to make her pretty-legged. That's not supposed to be a show horse on the circle. We don't show our pleasure horses in a tiny circle like that. But what I'm looking for is a horse that can turn loose and go straight. That's the idea. So we use those circles to train our straight lines. If I were to try to fix that head and neck on a straight line, I'm gonna have a heck of a time because she's pulling down on me the whole way. So by taking that head to the side, I can stand that shoulder up and tickle her with this inside leg and keep everything up so she learns to separate her neck from the rest of her body. Okay, so that's today's little workout. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do probably 20 minutes of this. We'll work the other direction a little bit, and then we'll give her a little break and then do 10 minutes more. So that's our workout, about 50-minute workout. So the braces that I feel right there, much improved from the last video. So if you missed it, go back, check out the last video and see how much changes in just a day, just one day of riding and working on this and really focusing on it, how much softer you make your horse. So thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. We love you Patreon supporters. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. So we appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Legends are made.